you know, for the life of me, I could just never understand why four-wheelers do what they do and why other CDL holders do what they do. Now, as a truck driver myself, sometimes I'm embarrassed of the industry. I really am. Like, some of the things that I see, it just doesn't make sense. Sometimes I just scratch my head and just wonder, like, who in the world gave him or her a CDL? Like, who? I'm at the point now where I think there's a place where you can just go, just buy a CDL. You don't have to know any knowledge, have any type of knowledge whatsoever. I feel like it's a place that y'all going to get y'all CDLs. I honestly feel that way. So let's talk about what happened first. So I'm driving in the middle lane, or no, I'm driving in the right lane, correction. I'm in the right lane, and I see a semi, you know, on the shoulder. Now, I've always been the type of driver that if I see somebody on the shoulder, I'm gonna get into the middle lane. Or if I'm in the middle lane and I see another truck in the right lane, I'm gonna move to the left lane so that way that driver in the right lane can get into the middle lane, and that way he can safely move over for the driver that's on the shoulder. Now, in this scenario, you know, I wasn't able to do that because I had a bunch of long-nosed Pete's bull haulers in the middle lane, and it was clear that they were trying to let me in. So I start slowing down. I've always been the type, if I can't get over, I'll at least drop my speed, I'll downshift. That way, you know, I'm not flying right by, because you never know if that driver is walking on foot. You just never know. So I've always made it a habit just to slow down if I can't get over. Now, never in a million years would I think, drivers, we know better. Y'all know better. I would never think in a million years this guy, he would just immediately just turn back into the middle, into the right lane. I don't know if he didn't see me. Well, he had to have seen me. There's no way he didn't see me. This idiot comes from the emergency lane. He just darts immediately into the right lane. He's going at least maybe 5 miles an hour. Now, for those of y'all that don't know better, all of y'all should know better, but if you don't know better, I'm going to tell you how you do it. When you're trying to get back into traffic, you don't immediately dart back into the right lane. You keep your flashers on, you put on your left turn signal, you ride the emergency lane as you're gaining speed. Once you've picked up enough speed, or if somebody in the right lane has moved over or slowed down and let you in, that's when you move in. You don't immediately dart back into traffic, because that's how you cause an accident. You know, I had to slam on my brakes, damn near swerve just to avoid hitting him, because he wanted to immediately dart back into traffic. Never do that, drivers. Let me tell you what else would happen. So I'm continuing on. I see, I think it was Martin, and it was another mega carrier. I can't think of the company, but it's another mega carrier. Now, I know Martin, they're governed at like 65, and the driver he's fighting with, I'm assuming he was governed at either 65 and a half or 64. I legit timed these guys for 10 miles, 10 whole miles. These two idiots are fighting to get around each other. You know, Martin's in front, the other driver's in front, Martin's in front, the other driver's. So they're basically just going back and forth, just playing leapfrog with each other for 10 miles. Now, if you want to piss me off, do some stupid shit like that. That's like my biggest gripe. That's the one thing I just cannot stand when drivers do stuff like that. If you know you can't pass in a fast manner, don't attempt it. If the truck you're trying to pass is 1 mile an hour slower, I wouldn't even attempt it, because it's going to take you a long time to get around somebody that's doing a mile an hour difference. Now, I'm sure you're going to say, well, why didn't you just dart out into the left lane? Now, usually when I see idiots doing stuff like that, I would do so. But this particular area, it's no trucks in left lane. So, you know, I stayed behind them. I was behind them for a while. And after a while, forgive me, y'all, I just got impatient. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going in the left lane. I'm going to pass them both. I'm tired of being stuck behind them. And keep in mind, there was a whole bunch of other trucks behind me as well, you know. Now, usually I wait for somebody. I'm usually never the one to be the first one to dart out into the left lane. I'll usually wait until I see another person dart out, and then I'll get behind them and do so. That way, should they get pulled over, they'll probably pull the first out. They ain't going to pull us all over, I highly doubt. But this time I just said, fuck it, I'm going for it. And luckily I didn't get pulled over. But quick tip, y'all, never go out into the left lane if it's a restriction. So I wasn't wrong for that, but hey, I'm not about to be stuck behind them. So let's talk about Linehaul pay now that I'm done with my little mini rant. I know I was supposed to talk about Linehaul pay, at least that yesterday, but shit happens. So Linehaul pay. So basically with Linehaul pay, it's just gonna vary based on where you sit in seniority, and it's gonna depend on what you do, whether you have a bid run, aka dedicated run, if you do extra board, wild, or system, you know, you basically run everywhere. So your miles is gonna vary, your pay is gonna vary. If you do extra board, obviously your pay is going to be inconsistent. One week you might have 2,500 miles. Next week you could have 3,000 miles. Following week you might have 2,700 miles. So it's going to vary. Bid runs, you know, your pay is pretty much going to stay consistent because you're on a bid run, meaning you have set miles. So let's just say your bid run is 3,400 miles a week. Your pay is pretty much going to be the same every week unless they give you a via, meaning they send you elsewhere from your meet point or from your assigned terminal. Another factor is if your company pays you for drop and hook pay, that's gonna vary. So basically, I'm gonna throw some numbers in. I've talked to a lot of drivers, Linehaul drivers from a lot of different companies that I network with a lot of different people. And on the low end, the lowest I've heard is 65,000 a year, and on the high end, and this is for solo, the high end, 120 for the year. Now if you do teams, I've heard from a lot of sources that you can make well over 100,000 a year. Now, as y'all know, I'm not one to show pay stubs, but I'm doing pretty well for myself, you know, as a Linehaul driver. Now, if you guys want to see actual pay stubs of what Linehaul drivers make, check out the Asian My Show. He's done pay stub videos in the past with he did one with Estes a few years back, he did one with FedEx Freight, and he did one with Old Dominion, and all three of those drivers made 6 figures for the year.